So the online Pokemon Center store is where the Pokemon Company sells the majority of its merch. Too bad it doesn't fucking restock any of it! As is very well known, Pokemon is one of the biggest franchises worldwide, being worth billions of dollars. So why they handle supply and demand about as well as Ubisoft handles its PR is beyond me. My biggest personal example of this is the Comfy Friends Esper plush. Esper is my favorite Pokemon. I like Esper. Unfortunately, it seems I'll never get my hands on this fucking thing because of incompetent management from the Pokemon Company. There is a ginormous amount of demand for it. Every single listing from resellers is already sold, and the ones that aren't already sold go into the hundreds. Even the import sites have it going up to that price point, which implies that Japan is facing low stock of this thing as well. The country with physical Pokemon centers. To add on to this, the store listing for the Comfy Friends Esper is full of people asking where it went in the question section. 3 whole pages of people asking when it will be restocked, with the same copy-pasted, bland corporate response being the answer to every single question. They seemingly refuse to restock it, even despite this high amount of demand, which makes zero sense and is absolutely frustrating to think about. Mostly because of the fact that scalpers are objectively benefiting more from this than the Pokemon Company ever will. This has driven me up a wall to the point where I checked how long the Comfy Friends Esper was available via the purchase dates associated with reviews, and they were all within a 5-day span in the middle of March. This thing was only available in the West for 5 days. There was nothing stating it was a limited edition product or anything of that nature, and then suddenly after 5 whole days it's gone forever, never to be restocked ever again without any warning. Whoever runs the Pokemon Center needs to be crucified in public as a sacrifice for the Comfy Friends Esper restock. There's also the honestly absurd wait times to get into the website once it has heavy server load. You end up on a virtual queue, stuck staring at a gif of a Psyduck for 2 hours until it loads. And every single time, it's never a single thing you want being restocked, and instead more Pokemon cards for people to immediately buy up until Pokemon Center loses stock the same day, and then those cards get scalped on eBay. In general, artificial scarcity is a huge issue with this franchise, even stemming outside of the Pokemon Center. A lot of stores just straight up do not stock Pokemon cards consistently, and I've only seen them stocked at MSRP 3 times in the past year or so. Also, scalpers in general are just huge investor dude bros, but that's besides the point. After a certain point, I hate being invested in this franchise because of how much I get fucked over for being invested in the franchise. And they kinda just let it happen too, they don't really care all too much. So basically, the moral of this video is that corporations suck, and I might as well just buy a rip-off plush Esper because I don't think Pokemon Center is ever gonna restock it.